Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good evening. Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in great spirits, as it should. All right, because we need your ears, we need your thoughts, we need your smarts out here, guys. Okay, because we still got something going on here, where we got a young 15-year-old young man, still out here, nowhere to be seen. And I still am wanting to know what is going on here. Really, what is going on here? So, do we have new updates? Do we have something that we can all walk away from this conversation tonight that can lead us closer to finding Sebastian Rogers? Again, are there new updates that lead us closer to finding Sebastian very, very soon? That is a question that I'm going to be asking tonight on this show. Before we get in everything, please do me a favor, because we can't be in here for a long time. But we're here for a hopefully very informative time. Please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Crush it. Make it scream out your name. Send it past. Let's get it to 1K. I see a bunch of y'all in here. It really means a lot. I appreciate all of your energy. It means the world to me. So hit that like button down below. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. Don't forget to crush that follow button on Facebook, X/Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. You name it, all of those things. Go over there, crush that follow button over there. That would really mean a lot, okay? And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, crush that subscribe button. Your boy's working hard out here in these streets, so that'd be greatly appreciated. If you want to become a member, by all means, hit that join button down below on YouTube and become a member of the family, or check out patreon.com/the Pascal Show. It's in the ticker in that blue band, that purple band right down below me, going that way as we speak. If you want to support the channel, that'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. All right. Anyway, let us get into this conversation. And some people will sit there and say, it's time to get into it, right? As we know, this young man, 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers, is still nowhere to be found. We still have so many questions. And of course, speculations, rumors, things that have been out here in these streets that have been absolutely not only devastating to the families, both sides, but also devastating for Sebastian as well. At the end of the day, we still do not know where Sebastian is. And there's going to be a lot of questions that we're going to be talking about, a lot of things that we're going to be bringing up tonight that hopefully puts a lot of things to rest so that we can move on to finding Sebastian. Again, it's been well over 2.5 months since this young boy has been found. And I know we're all wanting to know what's going on. Everyone's pointing fingers across the aisle. There's Team Rogers, Seth Rogers. Then there's Team Proudfoots, and everyone's pointing blame, and it's getting crazy out here. What we're going to be doing tonight is we are going to be talking and tapping in a little bit onto the drama of the conversation, the things that have been brewing up until today. I'm hoping that we can debunk or push things on, keep things moving so that we can be more focused on trying to find Sebastian, which should be our main focus. Period, point blank. We are going to talk about those things because I know that a lot of people have a lot of questions. And again, a lot of fingers are being pointed at certain groups. Hopefully we'll be able to debunk those things. But then hopefully we're going to get down, quickly go through that crap, and get straight into the meat and potatoes. We're going to get into the conversation on facts. Hopefully, like I said, we all leave from the show today or tonight with something to chew on. All right? So, because we all should be about Team Sebastian here, no matter what, right? So let's get into this, guys. Of course, I'm honored to have back again Tony Mathis, who is working closely with Seth Rogers, which Seth Rogers is here with us as well, biological father of Sebastian Rogers. Fellas, good evening. How y'all feeling?
Good, buddy. Thank you for having us.
How you doing, Seth?
Another day.
Another day.
No answers.
No doubt. No doubt. Well, let's get into this conversation. We got to get through all the drama stuff first. So let's get into this drama stuff, all right? First off, Tony, I'm going to ask you, since the last time you were on the show, how things been, man? Been all right?
We've been all right. You know, there's still a lot of people that are here for the wrong reasons. And I don't know, there's still a lot of drama. We're working on that. But I think we're moving on and moving forward, as Seth says.
Mm-hmm. Seth, how things been for you as of late?
Some information has been laid at my feet. Some things have definitely opened up my eyes to things I didn't know going on before. Had to let a couple people go. Some people that are close to the internal operations don't know how to not tweet like a bird.
Okay. You know what? Since we're already going there, since you're going there, let's get into it, shall we? So I understand that you have a private investigator. You had one before. Well, hold on. Let me just say this. You had a private investigator before Tony came in, right? And that person left. Then Tony shows up. He's here to be a spokesperson, help in the media side of things. And then
Tony pretty much does what I ask him to do, so it takes weight off of my shoulders.
Right. So then as of today, there's been a new person, a new private investigator that put out a new statement basically saying that they are now stepping down from the search for Sebastian. So, of course, I have to ask a few things. Let me get straight to the point. Tony, did you have anything to do with this?
Well, it wouldn't be credible if it came from me. Ask Seth that question.
Right on. Seth.
100% guilty.
Okay. So is everything amicable? Did you guys part ways in an amicable way, or what's going on
Thought
here?
we did.
You say that again. You thought you did?
I thought we did. Only time will really tell. I pretty much told my team that, too many Chiefs, not enough Indians, too many cooks in the kitchen, not enough, there's just, this is my son. All right. People I wanted to work with, when I brought Tony in, I told him what I wanted. My goal was to see if I could get Chris and Katie to come work with me. That was the olive branch. It was done. A phone call got leaked out that kind of told me what, where particular people were sitting at. And my son doesn't have time to wait for people to stop being childish. We're supposed to be adults. The goal is Sebastian to recover, to find, rescue, take care of, bring him home in whatever form and fashion we can. All right. It just didn't seem to be going that way. And when I want to bring somebody in, and then people want to turn around and in the group, well, Tony's doing this, Tony's doing that. Well, I sent the engagement letter with these people 3 weeks before I even started talking to Tony.
Yeah, it's interesting the amount of shade. We need to talk about this because as soon as Tony came onto the show last Friday or something of that sort, there was not last Friday, but the Friday before, I'm sorry, there was a lot of backlash. Tony got a lot of hate for just showing up and just trying to be a supportive, just be a support system and help relieve some of the heavy lifting that was weighing on your shoulders. And then, of course, there was a PI that stepped down around that time. There was
I
an
asked my
announcement.
mother to step down. I still have regular communication with her.
Okay.
I do too.
And that's great. And that's great. But I think as soon as it was the timeline, I think Tony comes on, Heather steps down, then there's another PI now that's stepping down. And I think a lot of people were very, very quick to assume that Tony has something to do with, say, this other PI stepping down. And you guys are trying to they're assuming. So you're making it very clear.
Making an ass out of me and you. Assume.
Okay.
Tony had nothing to do with it. Tony wasn't even at the meeting that I brought everybody into so I could speak to him. And I laid it all out. And, the responses and the answers I got were not concurrent with my goals.
Okay.
Somebody sits there and literally tells me that, that I'll cut forward to what she posted today on her investigation. Well, last time I checked, this is my operation. All right. I'm the one looking for my son. And she wants to go her investigation. And then I have found out that not all information was shared with me. Some things were, not shared with me. I don't appreciate that.
That's interesting, Seth. Can you expand on that a little bit? No. What information wasn't given to you? Was it crucial information, or it was just like little bits here and there?
If you're not going to give me a lead, or you're not going to check up on a lead, and then all of a sudden I've got to take time from what I was doing and turn around and, check up on a lead or check on something else when, that's taking time out from what I'm trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's still, I'm doing it. But if you're going to have a part, you need to play your part.
I see. So something got leaked. Let's move on. I hope everything gets ironed out between y'all, okay, and PIs. And actually, are you working with any other PIs or?
No, I ain't telling
any updates? Okay, nothing. Okay, that's fine. We Gucci on that. So moving on, let's talk about this here. The leaked audio. Chris Proudfoot made a phone call, and that information or that phone call got leaked. Can we just tap on that for a quick second? Because this spawned the gloves are coming off from you, Tony, on your recent TikTok conversation. Can you expand a little bit on that and why suddenly the gloves are off now and not before? Go ahead, Seth. Go ahead.
In the conversation, he literally states that he's not going to be working with Tony. The whole point of me putting Chris and Katie in contact with Tony was for him to be our spokesman person, so that way we can all get on the same page and there'll be less drama, people trying to pit me versus Chris and Katie, and I think somebody told me he dropped the F-bomb like 71 times in that thing.
Whoa.
Wow. No, I'll let you have your woe. We'll go back to, the 90s. But it's just he made statements in that it's like, okay, well, obviously trying to work with him, olive branch that was being extended from both sides, it may have been a recorded telephone call, but it showed it showed the path that I'm looking for is not the path that he's on. My goal is to find my son. Okay. I'm not in for this drama stuff. People say I'm starting it. I don't really care what they say.
All right.
My classic phrase.
So, Tony, do you have anything you want to add to what Seth just said?
Let me, I'm sorry, I just had my phone ring. Let me see if I can get this. There we go. Okay. So what are we talking, Pascal, help me. Are you having me answer, why the gloves are off? Is that what I'm answering?
Yes. I just want to hear from your own mouth why gloves are off. Yeah.
Can you keep this way where we can all three see each other?
It's fine.
Yeah. Cause Yeah. So the leak phone call we'd had for a while, 8-9 days before it was leaked. So it's that's one of the things. It's the fact that he called into a show and pretended to be Billy Bob Thornton, and essentially what he was doing is he was making fun of an autistic child, and it's the way he talks to people in general. It's all the talk shows he called in when he told us that he was going to stay off social media if I helped control Seth and kept Seth from getting crazy. Then he's out there getting crazy, and at the end of the day, I mean, I hate to say it, the guy's just not a good guy.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fine. That's fair enough. I mean, the leaked audio, that phone call is not so great. And yeah, the phone calls that he's been doing as of late have not been optically good at the end of the day. Let's keep it real. But okay, now I get it. Gloves are off because of that. Okay. Thank you so much for clarifying that. But of course, we need to get into this other part. Okay, we got to move on. Like I said, we're not here to dwell in the drama, but I do want to, clarify a few of these things because these are the things that have been percolating out here in these internet streets for a little while. We got to talk about this Nancy Grace situation. Okay, now there was a piece of audio, or there was a piece of the show that was that aired. But then it was deleted. And I think a lot of people deleted from the podcast, deleted from the show. And a lot of people are asking, there's a lot of speculation roaming around this particular situation. So I wanted to play the audio really quick so that everyone knows what I'm referencing. Okay. And this is from Nancy Grace. And this was the piece that did not make it. Well, it made it to Final Cut, but then it got cut out. And I think, just like myself, I'm quite curious what happened here. Let's play that audio really quick.
Following are paraphrased questions and responses from Seth after a polygraph was conducted. What is your theory of what happened to your son, Sebastian? What did Seth say?
He explained to me that Sebastian was routinely taking a sleep aid, and he believes that Sebastian probably wouldn't go to sleep. So his mom, Katie, overdosed him and caused his death. That's what he told me.
Now, this piece of information, hopefully everybody heard that. You guys heard this? Fellas, you heard the audio clip? Yeah. Yes? Okay. Now, this obviously was on live. It was on the show. It aired on TV. And then suddenly, the podcast version, it didn't have it in there. And of course, it's nowhere to be seen on her platform. And a lot of people are wondering, what the heck happened here? So I'll just throw this to you, Tony. What actually happened here?
So I had multiple agreements with Holden, her producer, that there was not going to be anything asked or anything stated that was going to make the Proudfoots look bad. I had that agreement in writing. I had it in text. I had it in an email, and I had it on 2 different phone calls. So when that happened in the middle of the interview, I told Seth, I said, we don't have any control over Nancy. There's no control in her. So I said, if you get a text from me that says get off, you get off the interview, hang up. So when she played that recording, he sent me a text at the same time I was sending him a text. I said, get off. And they're like, oh, what happened to him? It's bad weather and, whatnot. And I said, no, it wasn't bad weather. I told him to get off the interview. I said, Nancy, you broke your word to us. And I said, your producer broke his word to us. And she said, I don't understand. What are you talking about? And I said, I talked to Holden twice. I got him in a text, an email, and multiple phone calls where he assured me that you were not going to say or do anything while we're trying to build this unity that was going to make this family look bad. Well, she jumped Holden's ass, and I guess Holden had sent her an email that she didn't see, supposedly, allegedly. So she asked me if I would bring Seth back on. She apologized to Seth. She told me she didn't want to put any more stress on Seth. And she told Seth and I, there together, 100%, she gave us our word that that would be cut out and it would never be seen anywhere. Is that correct, Seth?
That is correct.
And then she did what she did.
Okay. That's unfortunate. To be really honest, that is really, really unfortunate, but it is out here now, right? TikTok and YouTube, they grabbed that thing and it's been out here. It was plastered all over the place as soon as that interview dropped. So I have to ask you, Seth, is that really your theory? Is that what you stand on now as far as
That
what
wasn't
happened
the
to
only thing that gentleman asked me after the polygraph. He asked me several more questions.
Mhm.
And when he pulled out a notepad and a pen, piece of paper, I thought he was going to offer me assistance. And so what I discussed him was, my top 3 theories for what may or may not have happened with my son.
Yeah.
And that's the only one that he brought up. And, what I was getting from him as a former FBI agent, I was hoping he was going to give me some advice, who I could reach out to. And I didn't get any of that. So while I'm sitting there sleep deprived, just got done taking, a polygraph. And, yeah, this is my first time doing this sort of stuff.
Of course.
I've never been in this before.
Right.
I don't want anybody to ever be in this.
Yeah.
It's a horrible feeling no matter what. There's a lot of people in your chat saying that I'm starting drama and I egg it on. I see so much drama going on in these chats and stuff. There's time. You can go hand out flyers. You can sit there and get my son's name out instead of sitting here asking me to, speak about my mom or Chris's ex-wife, things like that. That's not directing the focus back to finding my son. That is you wanting to ask questions to start drama. So you can either like me or hate me. It doesn't matter. If you're willing to help me find my son, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
People over here talking about Chloe was the only sane one. Well, for you to say that, you weren't there. You don't know what's going on. You don't know the fact that day one, I was out searching in my vehicle. Law enforcement did not want us with boots on the ground, walking through the woods and stuff, looking for our son, because the last thing they wanted is one of the parents to get hurt or injured and not be able to communicate to where they were at. If you don't think that I wasn't out there on day one, driving around, screaming with my window down, driving everywhere, I don't know the area. I'm not from there. I'm not from Clarksville. I know a lot of the area now. I've been everywhere. For that first week, I was searching every day. I don't know what I've done. I don't tell you everything I do. My life is sitting here on blast for everybody, whether you're Team Sebastian or not. Sometimes some people in these chats just want to sit there and run their mouth. And that's fine. That's human nature, I guess. There are podcasters out there, and I know I'm not supposed to mention names, but there's some out there that have literally told people that they need to come whoop my ass. Well,
whoa, what?
I'm here.
For real though?
Yeah. I'm here. I'm in the same address since I moved to Tennessee. Why? Because moving actually creates more issues with my son. Because every time you move, it creates a change that he has to deal with.
Yeah.
Do I want to move to a different place? Yes. Has my rent gone up $500 since I moved here? Yes. Have they done anything to improve my house? No. But I stay here because it's easier for my son to stay here and for me to pay more for my rent, for him to be safe and comfortable at our house.
I know that your intentions are good. Okay. Just like I know that Tony's intentions are good. The team that's been involved with everything, even all the way down to the people who have left the search, like the PIs of the past and all that stuff. They all have been here for the greater good to try to find your son.
They're all
You know,
volunteers, and I
all
appreciate
volunteering.
every one of them. But
I think that needs to be made clear, right? So that people know
I
that, right?
appreciate all of them, but at the same point in time, I need everybody to work together, and I needed people in my team to work together. If I bring in more people, it's because I need more people. I need people who have SAR training. I need people who have the resources that I don't have, that I can't afford. Lord knows I cannot afford to go drop $32,000 on a water drum.
Yeah.
Can't go buy a boat. I can't do things. You know, people talk about my GoFundMe that's now shut down because I'm just tired of it. I use that for stuff, for flyers, for making sure we can get things taken care of. And yet I get nothing but grief about it.
You know, one thing I do want to just interject here really quick. I think one thing that people tend to forget, one, everyone's passionate about trying to find your son, right? We're all emotionally attached to this case. We all want to know what's going on. We all want to break or crack the case, right? And find your son and bring him home to safety and all that. But I think people forget that this is not like a startup company.
It's not a game.
This is not
my
a
son's
game.
life is in danger.
I think people forget that when you lose somebody, it's not like this is something that you just wake up and know how to do. It's not like you can just pull up, Google it and go, how to build a team to find a missing person. You are shooting from the hip a lot of the times. And I think a lot of people forget that. And we need to bring that reality back into the conversation real quick. Instead of everybody doing the backseat driving, realize that, hey, there's mistakes that are going to be made. There's going to be bumps on the road because this is not something that people do every day.
Every time I make a decision, I don't know if it's going to be the right one. Only time will tell. I'm learning at this just as the next person, which I hope the next person, if they're missing their kid and they reach out to me, I hope I can help give them something that I've learned from my experience besides welcome to hell. There is nothing in this world like losing your kid, but it's one step even worse to not even know if your kid's alive or dead.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand how people can just sit there and be like, it's life. Well, I refuse to accept that.
Pascal, I'll tell you something. One thing that I've been very, very adamant about is I'll defend Seth. I'll defend Randy Harris. I just don't get into defending myself. But I looked over and I got the comments turned off now, but you've even got people in your chat that are causing trouble, and you got people making little petty comments like, he's not paying attention. He's on his phone. Well, let me explain something. Since people want to make statements and they don't want to ask questions, which is what you're great at, is asking questions. I have literally a very demanding 24/7 job. I work essentially in the oil space. I have to be reachable by phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. A normal day for me right now looks like this. I'll work 8 hours a day minimum, sometimes 10 hours. During that day, I'm also working for Seth, but every night I'm putting in another 8 hours for Seth. Every single night, whether it be on TikTok, whether it be researching, whether it be gauging what the mood of the public is, whatever that is, and then I get all these videos I got to look through. We got people that are breaking down a video that somebody else did, and they're criticizing us, and they're making money off of Seth's son, and they're doing all this craziness. Look,
those are true vulture when they're sitting there and taking a conversation that Tony is having, which is an actual conversation. They're discussing it. It's not a podcast. and then they want to sit there and put it next to their little will of pay me money. Why, they're sitting there in their nice little chair online with their little thing behind them, twirling her hair and pushing her glasses up while she's wanting everybody to buy a membership and consider to, that's not helping me find my son. So who gives you the right to sit there and criticize this man that's volunteering his time to help me find my son?
Well, and what
While you're sitting there making $1,000 off of a podcast and you haven't got out of your fucking chair.
well, and Seth,
Use my language.
You're good. You're right.
What I want to say is,
Mm-hmm.
I'm easy to get a hold of. Very, very easy to get a hold of. I'm open to having a conversation with anybody. In the world I live in, for Seth, for my job, I cannot get away from my phone. So if you see me looking down at my phone, it's because I've got messages coming in from Seth's team. It's because I've got customers that are texting me. And at the end of the day, the time that I spend on here with you, Pascal, on your platform, it's volunteer time. It doesn't pay my bills. So life for me doesn't stop, unfortunately. I have to keep working for Seth, working for my company. So, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to say, you've been working with me now for 3 months. Do you feel like I'm half focused, full focused? What do you feel like, Pascal?
I think you're in it 110%. I mean, you put your whole body into this whole thing. I commend you because you're not only doing this for Sebastian, you're also doing this for Caleb as well. And then also holding it down. You still are a dad. You still have other things that are going on in your life. You know what I mean? So, I've never had any thoughts in the negative for the contribution that you're doing for these two young men. Period.
I appreciate it 100%, Tony. I know that you don't do anything unless you ask me first. You ask me what the game plan is. We communicate. And some of your people in chat, Pascal.
Yeah.
T-Rev's my brother. I'm not talking about T-Rev. I'm not talking about, and I know you don't like me mentioning other creators, but
Pascal, you can tell
I get it.
There's a lot of emotions right now.
Yeah.
Because what we're trying to do.
It's 2.5 months, guys. It's been 2.5 months since we've seen anything resembling Sebastian Rogers. So tensions are going to be high. The nerves are going to be extremely sensitive. Raw.
If you have any goodness in your heart at all, either cover the case and help create awareness, get out from behind your computer, come help search, donate, do something like that. Or you know what, go to something else, because it's hurting everybody other than me. It doesn't hurt me, whatever, but it's hurting Seth. It's hurting everybody involved for people to get involved in a negative way. And that's what we're saying is if you're making money off this man's child, then be grateful for that. I have no issue with people making money off covering a case. Pascal, I love it that's what you do for a living. But you keep it real. You keep it factual. You're asking questions. You're not making unfounded comments. If you actually are going to have the goal to make money off of somebody's missing child, then do it with spreading a positive word. That's what we're asking. Because without him losing his child, you're not making money talking about his child. There's nothing to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. But I know that we can talk about this for a while, right? Because there's been a lot of tension building up for a while now. Okay. And I totally understand, right? Some people are in the chat saying, hey, Seth, I had it up, but the chat's been flying. So, but they basically said, hey, Seth, this is your son. You do what you need to do, what you see best to find your son. Forget the outside noise, because at the end of the day, we're trying to find Sebastian, right? So,
my only issue with that, Pascal, is first of all, I don't have social media. I have YouTube, and since Tony came around, you stay off of YouTube. Okay. Do I have to? Yes, you have to stay off of YouTube. You know,
Right.
so I stay off of YouTube.
I get
But
it.
that still doesn't mean that it doesn't get back to me. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't get back to me. It gets back to me that, some lady gonna sit on her fat little throne and talk about my weight. And it's like, you got a lot of room to talk. But you also want somebody to come put their hands on me. Just
Yeah.
remember, you live in Tennessee, lady. If you're instigating assault on a law enforcement officer, that's time.
Right. I mean, that honestly, that is other drama that I totally understand how you feel. Like, I understand where you're coming from. I hear you
I have too many
110%.
volunteers out there that put their life in the line to go hand out flyers, walk through forests, walk through where there's snakes, ticks. One of my volunteers literally had spotted Rocky Mountain fever from a tick bite. People don't know what my volunteers are going through.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then you want to add more because you want to sit there and, have people follow people around and threaten them and stuff. Get a life. You sure don't have a kid that's missing.
Right.
And if you're not a coward and you want to say something to my face, there's my door.
Mm-hmm.
Certain people have put my phone number out on the internet.
That's not good. That's never good. And that's not how you do things out here, guys. That's not how you do things. But okay. I think we've gotten to get, you gotten a chance to get some things off your chest. Understandably, there's been a lot of tension as of late. But let's get back to what we're here for, right? Which is getting to the facts and figuring out where Sebastian is. And I understand your frustration, brother. I really do. And I can only imagine what you're going through. But let's get back into this, shall we? So the thing is okay, we had the Nancy Grace and conversation and all that. There was some information that was out there that obviously was supposed to be taken out, and it wasn't. Obviously, that has shook a lot of people. People have had a lot of opinions about that. But one of the things that I do want to talk about is, let's get back to the basics. Now that we don't have now that they've confirmed that photo of Sebastian, or that alleged photo when they had that sighting that could have been
North
Sebastian,
Carolina.
was not in North Carolina. Yes. Now that they
would like to just say something about that.
Go ahead.
If the parents are listening, thank you. Because that was a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
And when I saw the actual pictures of him standing next to his mom in the Christmas tree, Sebastian's got just the way that he walked, the way that he held himself and stuff. Thanks for that little bit of hope. I needed it.
Yeah. Now that has been debunked, said that wasn't Sebastian, we're kind of back to square one in a way, right? And I, and I don't mean that to sound to give it some sort of negativity or anything like that. Sometimes taking the step backwards, right, going back to square one gives you a huge leap forward. So let's talk about some things really, really quick. Now, I know that there's been footage, right? There's a whole bunch of footage, ring camera footage, so on and so forth, showing the Sebastian taking the trash out to the front of the house, and then all of a sudden nothing. Now, I have a question for you, Seth. Have you seen all of the footage, everything revolving around the disappearance of Sebastian?
No.
You have not. What is it exactly that you're interested in seeing with your own two eyes right now?
Everything. And the reason I say everything is because when you have to start back at square one, you got to review everything. So a lot of mine is just reviewing what I already know in my mind, things that I've seen. Some of this stuff that gets pulled up, I don't know if it's real or not, and I don't have access to it like the police department does.
Okay. So is there, Okay, so I'm just going to ask these questions. Did you get a chance to see anything as far as I don't know, footage from their cars, anything
No.
outside of the house? No.
No.
Okay, so is there dash cam footage from somebody's car?
I heard that there was.
From whose car?
Not for mine.
Okay,
I don't have a dash camera.
but somebody does.
Somebody does.
Okay, but you haven't seen that footage.
The police don't put it out. I don't see it.
Word. Tony, any thoughts on that?
What falls under my wheelhouse is not the investigation. So unfortunately, I don't know anything about the dash cam.
Interesting. Okay. So obviously there's footage that you've only seen, Seth, so far since the last time we talked. The only footage that you've actually seen is proof of life walking out of a Texas roadhouse, correct?
Yeah.
But there's a slew of other footage that you still have not seen,
Correct.
especially in people's cars and outside of around the house per se.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting information. Now, when it comes to, okay, we have got to talk about this. This is not going to be an easy conversation, but I want to make sure that we address this because there's a lot of people that are reacting to some things that Seth, your mother, put out here recently, saying something along the lines of she knew about Sebastian's encounters, for lack of a better term, with Chris Proudfoot. And I know that there's been a knee-jerk reaction over the past 24 hours of people feeling some type of way about why she hasn't reported or why she didn't report those things in the past if she had known. Can we expand on that? Can we talk about that a little bit?
We
Seth?
don't have we don't have those answers. We have not talked to her about what she knew, why she didn't report, whatever. What we know from the other case I'm involved in is that grandmas get emotional. We don't blame her for anything she said either day. She said one thing one day, she said something completely different the next day. We don't blame her for either one of those things. Look, in these situations, the grandmas feel helpless. They feel uninformed. They feel helpless. And clearly we know that the grandmas were not involved in these cases. So they sit around and they drive themselves crazy and they watch all these things on social media and YouTube and TikTok and Facebook and all these things. And it gets to the point where they get angry and they don't have any way to release. So what they do is they do a little drive-by, as I call it, and they drop a bomb and then they feel better. And then maybe the next day they drive by and drop a different bomb and they feel better. We haven't had conversation with Robin about that, but the truth is we don't blame her for making either comment, as polar opposite as they were, just like I didn't blame Caleb Harris's grandma for making the comments she made, because I can't imagine how a grandparent that has very little information to go off of is dealing with all this. They've got to feel helpless. And we know that typically, everybody can question whether a parent loves their child. Did you have a good upbringing or whatever? Grandparents always have love for the grandkids. Historically, that is the group of people that love the kids, is the grandparents.
What a lot of people don't understand, and I don't mean to cut you off, Tony.
You're good, brother.
In the situation that's going on, I know how helpless I feel. So you can't even understand what kind of helplessness she feels. And I'm here in the middle of it. Information that she does, and I still feel helpless about some of this stuff. And then, I'm not on social media, but I got people sending stuff to my phone because, again, my phone number's out there. And they're sending stuff right off of the internet, off of Facebook. I don't have that stuff, but it still gets to me. as in it's still being sent to me. It's still being sent to my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody wants. She's feeling probably helpless because she doesn't know what to do. She's in another state.
Yeah. No, listen, I totally understand. I understand her frustration 110%. I know that this is something that a lot of people have been questioning. It has been something that's been kind of crazy out here in these streets as of late. Just that information. It was a bit shocking. And of course, at the end of the day, it's still, some insight into the possible dynamics that were going on inside that house before he disappeared, right?
Yes.
Now, speaking of the dynamics inside that home, I know that you said that there's some things that you were, I guess, some things were brought to your attention recently that really shocked you, Seth, that really kind of shook you. What is that?
Everybody already knows what you're talking about, Pascal. Other creators have been on it. Tony mentioned it last night in TikTok. Yeah, I have the DCS records for that house.
DCS records for that house. Okay, can you explain to me, because I know it's the Department of Children's Services, correct? So
Yes.
it's basically CPS, but Tennessee's version of CPS, correct?
Correct.
So what exactly did you learn? What was shed? What light was shed on you?
No, my eyes are open to a lot of things, and no, I can't share it with you. First of all, DCS reached out to my attorney, and because social media gets around, they reached out to my attorney. My attorney reached out to me, and I told them I had no plans of releasing any of this stuff at all. But I know it. I know what happened. I know the reports that were going on. I have a lot more understanding of what was happening in that house now.
Okay, so you are not going to release the information?
No.
Why not? The reason why I asked this, Seth, is because it could give more insight on why your son may have ran away, why your son may have disappeared. I mean, if it's not to the public, have you at least given it to law enforcement?
Oh, Sumner County has had it from the get-go.
Yeah, they've got it.
You know, I've been out. I've been in
Wow.
contact with TBI. TBI didn't have it, and I advised TBI to turn around and request the unredacted records because I got the redacted ones. And I told them that they need to request the unredacted records and they need to look at it.
Okay, that's something I didn't know that they had it. Tony, can you expand on that?
County.
Oh, go ahead,
Yeah.
Seth.
Tony hasn't seen the records. I haven't shared them with anybody but my attorney.
Wow.
We have for full transparency, we have discussed some of the things in those records very vaguely, but he's under legal advisement not to share those, Pascal.
I see.
With the public.
Okay. I get it. It's just shocking information. And I'm sure. So you're saying that there's more incidents that happened where CPS showed up to the house beyond just the belt situation with Mr. Proudfoot. Am I correct or am I wrong?
Yes.
Are we talking multiple? Or are we just talking about like one other incident?
You're digging.
He's digging, isn't he? He's digging.
Saying, hey, I gotta ask these questions.
He's trying to get to the meat.
Yeah.
Just trying to get to a little bit. I'm just trying to get a little bit.
Church.
I mean, we could talk about church another time, but right now
No,
I'm asking
that's
that
what
question.
you tell me every time.
Okay.
We talk about church another time.
Yeah, because we're talking about Sebastian right now, right? We're talking about Sebastian right now. So I want to
Maybe
know.
God's going to give you the answer the next time you're at church.
There it is. Okay, fine.
We'll talk to you. We'll talk to you about this at the vigil.
There it is. We go, at the vigil.
Oh, yeah, that you said that you told me you were showing up for.
I will definitely come through. It's this weekend, right? But you guys are you guys doing a ride through up to a particular place, or is that a separate vigil? Can you
No.
explain that to me?
We're doing it's a MC ride.
Okay. Okay.
MC ride. Meeting place will be at 4, kickstands up at 5, rollover vigils from 6 to 7.
Okay. And I'm assuming Tony, you're gonna be, sliding through.
I will be. Yes.
Okay.
Sir.
Bet. That sounds dope.
You
Question
got a motorcycle, Pascal?
No, I do not, man. Do I look like a man that got a motorcycle?
Well, you got the helmet for it.
I'm aerodynamic. Yeah. We both, me and Tony, we both have that
You have to wear a
aerodynamic.
helmet here in Tennessee.
But you don't have to wear a helmet in
You
Tennessee?
have to.
Oh, okay. Then I can't bring my bike. It's a 10-speed, so I can't. I won't be able to catch up. But here it is, though. All right. DCS, right? Those reports. I understand you're not going to disclose much information, but are you going to take legal action against DCS?
That's not something we can discuss now. I would say right now everything is on the table. Just like everybody's a suspect.
Fair enough.
Everything is on the table.
Okay.
Absolutely everything.
Okay.
If Sumner County and TBI won't clear me, then what says that they're cleared?
I see. Okay. Now, of course, I wanted to make sure that we have some of these questions answered. I think we're able to iron out some of those things. I do totally understand your frustration, Seth, to even Tony as well. You just kind of are getting hit, ricochet. You know what I mean? You're getting those ricochet bullets in a way, Tony. So I understand your the frustration, and you guys. I understand you guys are just trying to do the right thing, trying to bring some clarity, trying to bring this young man home, and all that.
I want people to start focusing on the goal is finding Sebastian.
Absolutely. And hopefully, if there's any more information, like footage, for example, that you guys have not been able to see yet, I think that that's incredibly important that you ask for that footage. And if that's through a lawyer, then so be it. Whatever it may be, by any means necessary, get that footage so that you can see with your own 2 eyes. Because if there's dash cam footage, for example, from any of their cars that has not been seen yet, that could be crucial information. Big time. Same thing with the DCS reports as well. It could give us some insight on why he may have ran off. Now, again, that's not for me, okay? But for whoever else that's involved in this investigation in trying to find Sebastian, that's what matters the most, okay? But I do have... Go ahead.
I just got a text from a team member. She just wanted me to clarify that that there are 2 separate events. One of them is at 4:00, and that is the ride. The other one is at 6:00, and that's at Long Hollow Church.
Okay. So 2 separate events going on.
Correct.
On the 19th, right?
Correct.
Okay. And of course, if you guys have flyers or whatever, please send it my way so I can post it on my, post it online and all that. And of course, anybody who has that information, if you guys have flyers, please share them, send them my way. That'd be greatly appreciated. But let's get into some of these super chats, because I know that there's been a gang of people asking a lot of questions, and so I want to get straight to this as quickly as possible. So Tipsy, thank you. Just a quick thank you, and a thank you. I appreciate it. Misty, thank you so much. We're here to show support and love to Seth while we all do our part in the search for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Yes, I agree 110%. Sebastian is the main goal. This is what Michelle just said. Thank you so much. Tired as a mother. Thank you so much for the super chat. Tony, thank you for helping Seth. He needs support. And that's the thing. People need to understand that there's going to be people coming in and out of this, okay? Coming in and out of this search. Tony may be here for the whole time. He may be here only for a month and then step aside because of life or other situations that hop in, that pop up. Maybe there's a break in Caleb Harris's case. He might have to step aside while somebody else takes over. There's got to be a little bit more understanding, more patience, okay, from everybody. Okay, because it's been getting wild out here. We love you, Seth. Janine just said thank you. Michelle says Team Sebastian all day. Shell Marie says Sebastian strong in Louisiana. Thank you so much. Down in the bayou, appreciate it. Trevor, thank you so much. Chloe is a wonderful PI. Very thankful for all she's done for Sebastian and will continue to do independently. Trevor, thank you so much for the comment. And yes, I want to make that abundantly clear. Every person that's been a part of it, I mean, obviously I can't speak on your behalf, guys, but I know that everybody has been trying to put their best foot forward in helping. And you even said it, Seth, a lot of people came in here and are doing it on the free 99. They're doing it for free. Okay, they're just volunteering. And that says a lot about the people that have been involved trying to find Sebastian. And that is Chloe and any other person that's been involved that has stepped aside as well. Okay, no shade being thrown over here on this platform at all.
Pascal,
go ahead.
The guy that was putting the MC ride together, he said he got a bike you can ride.
Word. Okay. Is it the 10 speed?
No,
I'm kidding. Okay. Word. I'm going to have to, we'll talk. We will talk. Okay. We will definitely talk. No. I want to ride. I want to ride for show. I want to ride for show. I definitely want to ride for show.
I'll get you a hotel by the hospital.
Please. Okay. Please and thank you. All right. Devil Eyed Elvis, thank you so much. The only sane individual involved in this case was Chloe. She was searching before any family was and always works for free. Hey, that's amazing, Devil Eye. Thank you so much for that clarity. I appreciate that. Okay. And I see people coming in showing support for Chloe. You know what I mean? And if she's still working alongside for the case, I think that's a beautiful thing.
I think that she's going to do whatever she would like to do. When I spoke to her last, like I said, I thought we were civilly had agreed to part ways, and that's what I'm hoping for.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that even the post that she put up seemed it seemed civil to me, right? Just letting everybody know that she was stepping aside. So that's from what I see personally, but
right.
I mean, whatever's going on behind the scenes is going on behind the scenes. CBC, thank you so much. Seth, do you believe Katie would back Sebastian if she felt Chris went too far verbally or physically?
I don't know.
You don't know. Has that changed since the disappearance, or was it always I don't know?
It's always I don't know.
Fair enough. Michelle, Seth, keep your head up. Stay focused. It's your son. Absolutely. I agree 110%. Candy, thank you so much. Seth, heads up. Pay no attention to the haters. There's a lot of people coming in saying that, okay? Showing a lot of love. Showing a lot of love. Mama for coffee. We wouldn't know and be as invested if it wasn't for you, Seth. People need to remember who cried out to get help, get people looking. You know what? She's right. I understand that the drama is a double-edged sword. It is a double-edged sword, right? The drama is keeping Sebastian's name out here and all that stuff, but at the same time, we still have to go back to brass tacks. We got to get back to the facts. And I know the facts are still the same. Nothing's really changed as much, but we got a little bit from today, right? We got a tiny bit from tonight. There's some reports out there that I think I'm very interested in seeing with my own two eyes, just to be completely real, to keep it a buck.
Just remember that, those records, he's a juvenile, so they're not open to the public.
True. Good point. Very, very good point. Thank you for that clarity. Misty, thank you so much. Shame on anyone who's watching, who's attacking Seth, giving him
That's
grief.
twice.
Yep. He's the only parent searching for Sebastian. Sebastian, God bless you, Seth, and team. We love and support y'all. Don't allow POSs to get y'all. You know what? Get to y'all. I agree. I think that, it's that negative energy. You know what I'm saying? It's that evil energy out there that's trying to take you off the beaten path towards trying to find him, right? Towards righteousness, which is truth. And the truth is out there for sure. But yeah, I mean, I get it. There's going to be people out here with their opinions.
To get to it.
Say that again, Seth.
I said, in order to get to the truth, sometimes you got to get through all the POS to get to it.
Yes. True. Very, very true. And that could be people and obstacles as well. You know what I mean? Amy, thank you so much. Seth, I'm a psychologist who has asked several to ask you or CP if Sebastian had any school faculty or aides that suddenly quit. Boundaries get blurred. That's a good question.
It's a great question.
That's a very good question.
Great question. The last time I was at the school, I did speak to the principal about that, and nothing was advised of me.
Okay. All right. Something to look into, though.
She's been watching a lot of Netflix. That was a great question.
Right? Some Netflix series and stuff for show. Let's see. Lisa, thank you so much. Let's focus on Sebastian. Absolutely. I think we all agree on that. Proud Mimi, thank you so much. I would like to come help search, but I'm coming from Florida. Where do I find out where to search? That's a good question. Are you guys still meeting in any particular place to go out and conduct searches and all that?
We will be putting that stuff on our Facebook page. Right now, I'm waiting on information to arrive. Once we have that back out, we're gonna try this. We're gonna try it again. People that we're bringing in, hopefully we don't have people threatening them, following them around. I've got a lot of good-hearted people that are spending their time looking for Sebastian, and some people just want to pull him apart and degrade him and treat him like trash. That kind of gets on my nerves. I try to see the best in everybody, and when somebody's willing to help and do what they do, and then people want to threaten them, follow them around, make them feel unsafe in their own town, I take an issue with that. Take an issue when people don't do their job based off of, it's about principle. You should be able to be safe in your own hometown. I appreciate that.
I heard that. Tony, you have anything you want to say?
Well, I think it's important to add that the people that are doing the bulk of the heavy lifting here are not making a penny. The people that are making money off this case
aren't doing anything.
And we're not talking about you, brother, because you are our trusted YouTube guy. But
or T-Rev or Josh.
Yeah, I mean, we got some good guys out there, but the bulk of the people that are making money are not donating the money. They're not donating their time. They're not even offering positive support. They're causing problems.
Some people play with the devil. Some people fight the devil.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you on that. I think a lot would change if there was more. Because, I mean, obviously, we're still sitting on information. I just want to just sitting on the fence here for a second, The information that we have is still minimal, right? There's not a whole lot of information out there. Now, I know that there's some things that you're playing, as they say, or holding, as they say, close to the vest, and that's on you. That's up to you, my brother. But at the same time, I know that because there's not a whole lot of information out there, it's going to split the room. over time, the room will be
will.
split, right?
I can understand that, but at the same point in time, it's my son, and the
Of course.
information that I'm not sharing, it's not information that the police have shared with me. It's information that I've come across myself that because I'm his father, I was able to actually get and request. There's things that I don't know how it happened, and I don't know why it happened, and I don't know where he is, and I don't know a lot of these answers that people want answers for. I want the answers. If I knew half of the answers to the questions that I have going through my mind, I'm pretty sure I'd be a lot closer to finding my son. Instead, I wake up every day and it's like, well, let's see if we can find another little piece of this puzzle and put this jigsaw together.
Right. No, I hear you on that. Real quick, anybody who put it in mod mode, can you please take it out of mod mode, or like not mod mode? I'm sorry, out of members mode. That'd be greatly appreciated. Okay, because I know there's a lot of people that want to talk and they have questions and stuff like that. I understand you can't control the chat mods, but at the same time, please release it if you can.
Oh, don't release it. Don't listen to Pascal.
I'm trying to change it, but I can't personally. It keeps glitching on me. So if anybody mods, please put it back.
It's because TBI is watching.
I know it's a little bit chaotic, but yeah, that would be greatly appreciated.
Sumner County is inside your chat.
Thank you. I'm sure they are. I'm sure everybody's in this chat right now. Okay, with a lot of things that they want to say. So Kelsey, thank you so much. My daughter is also autistic. She used to take off. But within an hour, she would call home. It's heartbreaking. They look at their age, but they look. I think they look their age. I'm sorry, but they are still young emotionally and mentally. I'm sorry for what you are going through. Thank you so much.
I'd like to respond to that. The whole thing with that is that policy needs to change. Policy needs to change. People need to understand in the police department, the sheriff's office. Things need to change for an update. My son loves to run. He's not an eloper, but he loves to run. If he were out there and running, he outruns his mama when they were doing laps. And he was in, 6th grade outrunning her, and she was active duty military.
Right.
He loves to run. So, when they turn around and say a 5-mile radius, average person can walk a mile, in 40 minutes or so. And that's just do like, off to the corner store. If Sebastian was running 5 miles, ain't much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's not just him. It's anybody that may be on the spectrum, may have a disability, a chromosomal deletion. I mean, there's a lot of things that can put somebody where they're not on the spectrum, but they have tendencies of somebody who is. Policies need to change. For parents shouldn't be going what I'm going through right now.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, because I am kind of curious about that. If he was to run off and all that. And, we've heard a million times that that's not his usual thing.
It's not anything he's ever done.
Right. And I know that there's been conversations about video game consoles and all that. And, we should circle back on that, right? Because I know he was playing video games when he's with you. Could there have been a possibility of him having a conversation?
Is already giving my stuff back.
They're already giving your stuff back?
Yeah, they went through all my stuff and gave it back. Except for, of course, Sebastian's Switch and his Chromebook that his grandma gave him.
Okay. Let me continue on, though, real quick. Giaz, thank you so much. Tony and Seth, don't give the trolls the time of day. I agree. Debbie, Seth, contact the SAR company or the SAR company. They are free and one of the best in the USA, American Scent Dog Association. So the SAR company, have you guys heard about that?
No, I'm going to take a picture of that right quick, though.
Go ahead. I was about to write it down.
Sent me a text message about it.
I'm writing it down too. SAR company. Just in case you guys forget, you know, you can always just, I can always just send it to you guys. All right. Just that reminder. Okay. But moving on, Emily, thank you. It's not fair that it's on. Oh, well, see, I didn't know it was on members chat only. I'm sorry, guys. Honest to God, I didn't know until I turned over and saw that you guys were saying that. So I apologize. Okay. That's not my doing. I tried to change it. It was not allowing me to do it. Okay, guys. There's a lot of people in the chat, and the chat's going to fly. Okay.
I'd like
mods?
to say something
Just
about
let it
that.
know. Go ahead.
Emily Jane, it's because Pascal doesn't go to church.
There it is. That's solely what it is. I just don't go to church. That's what it is. Okay.
For forgiveness.
Let's see. Let's continue on here. Chrissy, thank you so much. Or Chris, thank you so much. Who's making money off your child? Members only, really. So they're still upset about that. But, you know, there's been a lot of people coming in, putting in their 2 cents. I didn't know. I swear to God, I did not know. Okay. But now it's in subscriber mode. Now it's in subscriber mode. So everything's Gucci. And it's as slow as it can go. So chat or mods, love you, but let's stay focused on the show. All right. Just let it be. All right. Eileen, Sebastian's army, we won't stop until Sebastian Rogers is found, and we are behind Sebastian and his father, Seth. 100%. Christina.
Thank you, O'Malley.
Barbecue lady, must be nice. You have $10 to spare to start drama on YouTube. Okay. I'm not going to read that. Moving on. I don't know what that is, so I'm moving
I do.
F on. Well, you know, we're not here to stir the drama.
Had a prom dress.
Stop.
Had a prom dress.
Stop, Seth. Stop.
Prom dress.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Dresses, okay?
Oh, God, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. But we're going to continue on. Crime Talk. Thank you so much. Stop all the drama toward. Oh, see again, still barbecue. I don't know what's going on with that, but we're moving on. Gypsy, thank you so much. Yep, I said the law enforcement would have that for the investigation. This is just causing speculation, hate, not Sebastian. Okay, speculation and hate, not Sebastian.
Can you explain that?
Yeah, you know what? I think Gypsy is referring to the information that you may have, right? The DCS reports and all that. Maybe that's what they are referring to. I don't know. Like I said, because this is all kind of.
All I know is that I requested them. It took 2.5 months for me to get them. And when I contacted TBI stating that I had them, they told me the Sumner County already had them. So any information that I gather from these, Sumner County already has. So it's, again, old information for them, new information for me.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not going to release them. It just opens my eyes.
Well, whoever ends up, running point on the search, I think it would be good for them to know that information too. That's just what I think.
Volunteering, Pascal?
No. Respectfully, no.
We can barely get him to the vigil.
No. We will definitely talk about that for sure. Okay. But let's continue on. Amy, thank you so much. It's worth a ask if he can get joint custody, even though Sebastian is missing. You need access to docs. So that's a good question. Can you get joint custody even though Sebastian is currently missing right now?
I already have joint custody. I've had joint custody this whole time.
Yeah. The 5 Canes. We love Sebastian, ignore the hate.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody asked, Kimberly asked, how can they send you money? Now, I understand you guys still have the GoFundMe and stuff, right?
No, there was so much drama and stuff about that I contacted my sister and I asked her to close it down. And my attorney is still dealing with issues with the bank about starting a trust. And the fact that in order to open up a trust account, you have to have a trust organization, which requires a CPA and a different type of attorney that I don't have. And then after I found out about the reward fund and everything, and the fact that it was just promissory notes, there was actually nothing in it. We don't really know who started it. So now I had to turn around and I have an attorney on it.
Okay. Okay. And that's
It's
really
way out of my league for understanding banking terms and IRS and yeah, no.
okay. Vols, Seth, my thoughts and prayers are with you. I'm originally from Tennessee, and it breaks my heart to see all these disappearances. I agree.
It is. There's over 400 children every year go missing out of Middle Tennessee, and we need to do something about protecting our children.
Absolutely. I agree. Deanna, thank you so much. Seth, I'm so happy to see the new team working with you. Keep the faith. I second that emotion, right? I know
Thank
some
you,
people
Ms.
don't
Roberts.
like change. Say that again.
I was saying thank you, Ms. Roberts.
Yeah, I just think that a lot of people don't like change, right? Change happens, then they suddenly think something's amiss, something evil is afoot, and I say, hey, we step back, we wait, and see what's going on. Real talk, okay? S Dubs, Seth, your interview with Coffin Daffer was incredible. Great job allowing us to learn about Sebastian. I would love to join your team with email. We'll email P. So she'll email me, and then if you need more people, S Dub is here and interested in helping out. Okay.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Tiffany asks, has the landfill close to second generation construction company been searched? The one that caught fire. This company is ran by Chris's family. Plus, the Cumberland River runs behind that company. I know that we've had a few conversations about this in the past, but it's good to go back to it, right? To go back to square one. The landfill close to that construction company. Has it been searched or researched again recently?
I do not know. I know that when I reached out to them months ago, the landfill, I did not know that second generation was next to it. But from my understanding, when I called them, they are a transfer station, which the supervisor on duty explained that that trash doesn't stay there. It shows up, it gets loaded in, and then trucks come and pick it up, and then they take it to the landfill. So, from my understanding, it was just a waste transfer station. Now, if that's the wrong location, then I have the wrong information.
Okay. Yeah, maybe that's something that we can circle back, look into, that kind of thing, for sure. Because I still am curious about other properties, the other properties that are owned by the families and all that as well. Have they been searched? Have they at all been tapped into or searched at all? That's one thing I'm kind of curious about as well.
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know? Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. American Freedom Fighter, thank you so much. Prayers for Sebastian, Seth, Chloe, Tony, Pascal, and Captain Jules, the real canine handler, and my former commander officer. We are all here for you. Yeah. Thank you. I know that there's been some stuff
Thank
about
you for my privileges.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Said thank you for my privileges. Your service is your own, but my privilege to tell people to F off is mine.
Right on. Right on. Right on. Okay. Let's see.
Kick rocks. Are you better, Tony? You guys kick rocks?
The funny thing, Pascal, is that nobody liked me trying to control him the first week and a half, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now y'all see while I was trying to control him.
You can't control this. You can't keep me contained. But I am coachable.
He is coachable.
Right on.
Because everybody has something for me to learn from.
Okay.
Except for Pascal.
Moving on. Let's see. SAR. Seth, I own a business and I would love to donate 20% of my sales this weekend to your son's flyers / banners. How can I get in contact?
Wow.
That's amazing. You can always send an email towards me. And then I can send it his way. I think that's the safest way of doing it. So there it is. Okay. But that's amazing. If this is real, I appreciate the generosity, and I'm sure the fellas appreciate the generosity as well.
Without a doubt, bless you.
Let's see. And they said it again. So thank you so much. Okay. Again, okay, American, thank you. Pascal, how can we donate supplies to the Q? EquiSearch or Captain K9 Jules on this search. Okay. Or Chloe. Obviously that things have changed with the PI, but any other entities that are involved, how can they help out if they want to contribute financially, if that's an option?
We don't have a platform for that yet. We're working on a way to have money sent in that makes sense, where Seth isn't getting criticized for a GoFundMe. When we get that put together, then Pascal will let you know so you can talk about it on the next live.
Sounds good.
We'd definitely like to be able to give people receipts for anything that they donate.
Hmm.
That way they can definitely file at the end of the year. So it's,
Right.
501c3 type organization where you can get a charitable giving certificate when you donate, that kind of thing.
Okay. Because I know that there was theories in the past of people trying to, stealing money or taking money, all that kind of stuff. This rumors, ridiculous stuff like that.
I bought a castle in Tennessee.
Oh, you bought a castle in Tennessee? I'd love to see that. Okay.
I'd like to too.
Right. Lori, thank you so much. Please tell us if there's a main reason that CP is so fast to speak instead of KP, and why don't he talk to you? Yeah. Any thoughts on that, Seth?
I don't even think about it anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
to me, that's slowing down my forward momentum of trying to find my son.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, get on board to help find Sebastian, or, do whatever you're going to do. But getting in my way of finding my son, no.
Okay. I got a couple more. I understand that you guys we're going to have to wrap up here fairly soon. So I'm not going to be able to get to everybody's super chats. There's a lot of them, guys. There's a lot. Okay. So I'm trying to get to as many as I can, as quickly as I can. Okay. Tired as a mother, says Seth, Tony, Pascal. You have tons of supporters. Let's see. Servant of God. I am an
Asperger's.
Okay. That's new to me. Thank you so much for that clarification. And ran away from home a few times as a child. I didn't realize the pain I put my family through praying for Sebastian and Seth. Now, I'm curious about with Servant of God, when she went and ran away the few times as a child, I'm wondering how long she went for, right? When she ran away, was it just for a few hours and then you came back home a few hours later? Was it days? Was it weeks? I'd love to know a little bit more about that too. But thank you so much for letting us know about that information. Cage, is the K9 dogs going back to search and send people who can protect the handler and the dogs? Yeah, there's a whole thing about the dogs situation. I am not completely up to date on that, but maybe you guys can give us a quick breakdown of what the heck is going on with the K9 dog handlers and all of that stuff.
They're keeping that pretty much close to the chest.
What are they holding close to the chest? What is that?
It would be a leash.
Wait, say that again. What?
A leash.
What about a leash? I'm confused. Do you mind expanding on that a little bit, Seth?
They're canine handlers.
Right. But what's the problem? What's going on? You see what I'm saying?
I have no idea. I've heard that there's been a bunch of stuff on social media, but I'm not on social media following it. And I haven't been informed of any issues.
Gotcha. Tony, do you know anything about this?
All I know about is that I was asked last night to go on and defend a lady named Jules by Seth and some other people, and let them know that she was the lady we were using. And then then I heard some other things today, and I'm very, very confused about the dog search situation itself. I think that's something that Seth and I are going to. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I think that's something that Seth and I are going to have a conversation about and figure out where we stand with all that. There just hadn't been enough hours in the day today.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I know it's been a busy day. A lot of things moving around. A lot of things going. A lot of things have been running amok. Let's completely.
Here's something I'll say. Here's something I'll say.
Shoot.
I hope that nobody ever ends up in this situation. The good people, the bad people. But here's what I'll say. It doesn't matter what any of you folks think about the people that are on Seth's team or off Seth's team. You can support the people, you cannot support them. Really and truly, the only thing that matters is what Seth wants at this moment, the toughest moment in his life. It's who he wants around him that we need to get behind. Who he doesn't want around him, we need to get behind. It's not for us to criticize people. It's not for us to continue to fire shots because you might like somebody he got rid of. It's okay to support people. And there's been good people come, there's been good people go. There's been, those of you that have followed me at all, you know that I have defended the PIs relentlessly. So at the end of the day, if I'm gonna handle what Seth asked me to handle, I have to support his decisions. If I want to be on Seth's team, I have to support his decisions. So what the public thinks is really irrelevant to what Seth wants at this time, the toughest time in his life. We have to trust that this father is doing what he thinks is best at the time. And our opinion in this situation really doesn't matter. It's his call, period.
Yeah, you're right. It is his call. At the end of the day, Seth is the one he's the one steering this ship. Real talk. And I'm glad that Rara said this. What are the next steps in the search for Sebastian? I think that's a solid question as well.
Got more locations that we're going through. We got another SAR team coming in. So we got more equipment, newer equipment. We've got plans.
Okay.
I'm hoping they're fruitful in a way.
Yeah. Well, that's great news. I mean, hopefully that is, getting a shot at steroids, right? Getting a nice little jolt in the process of the search, right?
Shots.
We definitely need that. There definitely is a need for that upgrade, right? Whatever it may be, however small or big it may be.
Sometimes when it comes down to it, it just needs a fresh set of eyes. And sometimes you got to bring in more than one fresh set of eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my eyes are tired.
Yeah.
So another fresh set of eyes will help.
No doubt. I agree. Lisa, many of us want to donate to Seth to help with all of his efforts in finding Sebastian, including legal fees. Those people complaining don't have to donate. I agree. There are plenty of us that want to help Seth. And I'm sure if there's going to be a new approach of some sort, they're still working on that. You guys are still working on that so that there's a legitimate way of supporting the search. Maybe is there a reward? Is there any reward out there at all?
We're working on that, Pascal.
Okay. That's what's up. Nikki, have there been any conversations with law enforcement surrounding when they would potentially give another update on their end? Yes. We still have not seen anything about a press conference. No.
The only thing I'd like to say about when they hold their next press conference, hopefully they can at least put a picture of my son in the background so they understand who they're holding the press conference for, what missing child that they're holding the press conference for. But the last one I thought was just a cover up. You know, like, we're trying, please don't be mad at us. They didn't have a picture of my son. So it just disappears in the background. You know, my son is the goal of this. He is the missing child.
I know a lot of people are wondering this one question. Of course, was in a super chat as well. But a lot of people are still curious about this. After all this time, it's been 2.5 months so far. And unfortunately, we're going to have to wrap this up now, guys. But I think this is a good way to wrap up the show.
I'll end that one with a good one.
There we go.
How many years did Jesus walk through the desert and be tempted by the devil? Doesn't matter how long it is, unless I have to keep the faith that my son is alive somewhere. That he is alive. He is still in this world. That's why I've asked the world to help me find him. That is why the world is coming together. And we're going to find him. Period. We will find Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. His army is looking for him. And his dad will never stop.
Beautifully said, man. Seth, Tony, I appreciate you both coming onto the show. We talked about a bunch of stuff. We got some things off. Seth got a chance to get some things off his chest. Okay. Hopefully it felt good. Okay.
Productive.
Yeah. Hopefully it was productive so that we can wake up tomorrow to fight and look for your son, right?
Every day.
Every single day. But I do appreciate you guys coming on. I know you guys have got to hop off because you guys.
I appreciate you giving me your platform to express my ideas, my thoughts, and my appreciation.
Of course.
We appreciate you, brother.
At the end of the day, I am just trying to err on the side of good. I think that no matter what, if we lead with our hearts, if we lead with positivity and try to err on the side of the light, we will find him. Positive thought, but we will find him. And it doesn't matter. We ignore the darkness and we lean towards positivity and towards the light. There's going to be naysayers out here. There's going to be jerks out here. Ignore that. Keep pushing forward, because the closer you get to finding Sebastian, the more the darkness tries to push back. So that tells you something, right, Seth? That tells you,
tells you're getting closer and closer.
Exactly. So that should make you feel so good and so excited about finding and getting closer to finding Sebastian here. So again, Tony, Seth, I appreciate you guys coming on, chopping it up with me and the rest of the fam and all the people that are watching. Okay, even the haters, they're still watching. They still want to
love my haters.
Hey,
gotta have love for my haters.
Hey, it is what it is. At the end of the day, we all want to find Sebastian, regardless what side of the spectrum that we are sitting on, whether it's Team Proudfoots or Team Seth Rogers. It doesn't matter. The same goal
Team Sebastian
is finding Sebastian, period. Okay. But guys, hey, I'm going to let you guys go because I know you guys got a lot of things to do. All right. I appreciate you guys. You guys stay blessed. God bless you. And we'll talk very soon. All right.
Appreciate you, buddy.
All right,
Thank
brother.
you, sir.
Bye.
Peace.
Later, Pascal.
Later, Seth. Okay, guys. So pretty big show, pretty big conversation. Hopefully we were able to diminish some of these theories, and talk about some hard-hitting things that needed to be talked about for the last week and a half or so. Okay. Listen, I know that we all have our theories. I know that this case is split in the room. Let's be real. It really, really is. But at the end of the day, one thing I think that we all can go to sleep tonight being rest assured is that whatever side we're on, we're trying to find Sebastian. Regardless If you are Proudfoot, Rogers, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's finding Sebastian. And I think that it'd be really great if we can rest on that and that alone. I know that there is no alliance going on right now between the Rogers and the Proudfoots, and it does break my heart. It really does. I was really hopeful that there was going to be a serious shift in this case by them joining forces, and maybe by them joining forces, they make leaps and bounds in finding this young man. But that didn't happen. That's not going to happen. It doesn't look like that's going to happen in the foreseeable future at all as well, and it does break my heart. Because at the end of the day, we have a 15-year-old boy still nowhere to be found. And we still do not have any big, hard evidence that can get us closer to finding him. Now, a few things we need to talk about, a few takeaways. There's footage out there that Seth still has not laid his eyes on. Law enforcement still has that footage, and they have not given it or shown it to Seth. And I'm hoping that by us circling back and having that conversation again, that's going to wake law enforcement up to be like, okay, maybe we can give them some of the information, some of the footage. Maybe you can look at some of it. There's footage out there that hasn't been seen. Only law enforcement has seen it. The other thing is CPS or DCS reports are out here in Seth's possession. And he even said, hey, there's a lot of things that have been brought to light that I didn't even know existed. He didn't get into great detail, but the fact that he was saying that is detail enough to know that something happened inside that house before Sebastian disappeared. Now, I understand some might sit there and go, what does that have to do with anything? Well, let me tell you, this could give us some more insight on the dynamics inside that household. This could be the reason why he ran off. Maybe he ran off. Maybe he ran away because he couldn't take whatever was going on inside that house. But then again, maybe something else happened. Maybe something went a little too far. God only knows. But at the same time, that information is pretty big information, in my personal opinion. And I'm hoping that if law enforcement does have that information, that they're doing everything they can to investigate it. But one thing we also talked about, still no press conference. We still have no updates. We have heard nothing thus far. That's insane to me, guys. It's heartbreaking. Real talk, it's heartbreaking because we still don't know where he is. And I think that there are places that maybe need to be circled back, revisited, or actually being searched for the very first time. Properties, pieces of land, etc., that still hasn't been touched to this day, 2.5 months later. That's a big problem, guys. That's a big problem in my personal opinion. Now, I know that there's been some shifts, some changes in the search. Some PIs have stepped down. There's, from my understanding, I don't know the full scope of the things with the search dogs and all that stuff, but hey, there's going to be changes. Things are going to shift. Things happen like this, and there needs to be understanding and patience for that. It can't automatically just mean that something sinister is going on all the time. There needs to be more patience and more understanding with this going on. It's a very touchy, a very sensitive, very confusing, and very frustrating case. But we all have to lean on the one thing, and the one thing alone is that we got to find Sebastian. That's what we should be caring about more than anything in this case. Anyway, guys, that's the show. Like I said, I couldn't get to all the super chats. I apologize. But like I said before, I try to get to as many of them. There was a lot of them. Okay. If there's anything, I'll try to bring them back up in another conversation with the guys if we do have another conversation. You never know. We may not have another conversation. Maybe Sebastian gets found tomorrow. You never know. I'm hoping for that. Real talk. I'm actually hoping for that. Okay? Period. But again, I appreciate you guys for being here. All right? Because without you guys showing your energy, whether it is on one side or the other, it doesn't matter. The energy is still appreciated. Period. We do appreciate the energy. I appreciate the energy. Okay? So let's find this young man. Do me a favor before you head out. Hit that like button down below, please and thank you. Crush it. If you're watching on any of these other platforms, be sure to hit that reaction button. That would really, really mean a lot. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay? Of course, do not forget to hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. But if you're watching on all these other platforms, please be sure to crush that follow button on my Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, X/Twitter. That'd be greatly appreciated. Okay, guys? We talk about a lot of things on this show, other than just this case. We have many cases that we talk about. So please be sure to hit that follow button or hit that subscribe button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Of course, check out my membership. Hit that join button down below. Become a member if you can, if you're watching on YouTube. And of course, if you want to support any further, go to patreon.com/The Pascal Show. Show some support over there too. Okay? That'd be awesome. Anyway, guys, I will say this first off before we get going. Shout out to my mods. Thank you so much for holding it down. But when it gets to that kind of volume, you just kind of have to let it go and just let it flow. All right? I appreciate you guys. I know you guys are trying to slow things down. I appreciate it. But sometimes you're just going to have to let it be what it is. Okay, guys? I appreciate all y'all. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, all that stuff. That'll be greatly appreciated. Have a great rest of your night. Please go do something positive with your night. Okay? Wherever you're watching this show right here. It's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. Talk to you guys soon. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.